American uranium to Russia. She took money from the Saudi Arabians to sell Syria and Yemen to Saudi Arabia and to justify ISIS. ISIS. Hillary Clinton is probably the single most corrupt politician in history since Lyndon Baines Johnson. And as Secretary, U.S. support would go out. And by the way, the reason.
Oh, my costume just kind of came with my powers. And I'm practically seething inside about how good. The battle starts in 5, 4, 3.
For the elites in the United States, war is a profit center, not just for oil. War produces body parts. It produces orphans. It produces all kinds of human goods that can then be trafficked. And the banks rely on war and drugs for their cash flow, for their liquidity.
Nobody's going to say this, so I have to, but this tell-all book that supposedly exposes all the dirty secrets of the Trump administration, where do you think they got the tapes from?
Audio tapes of meetings in the White House, including audio tapes of meetings in the Situation Room. We're not going to comment on the tapes.
In recent weeks, the United States has been engaged in high-stakes diplomatic peace talks with Iran, attempting to forge a lasting framework to end decades of conflict in the Middle East. But the problem, as many of you know, is that a permanent peace in the Middle East is actually the ultimate threat to Israel's desire for regional and global dominance. In fact, Israeli leaders have publicly signaled that they are ready to sabotage any potential deal and are even willing to deploy the ultimate blackmail to do it.
Israel's existence is not negotiable, and it does not depend on superpowers or the public opinion. And if they keep pushing Israel to the corner, they are the ones who are going to suffer the most.
So forgive me for noticing, but I don't think the timing is at all a coincidence that while the Trump administration has been desperately trying to negotiate a peace deal, two New York Times reporters, Maggie Aberman and Jonathan Swan, both Zionists who are sympathetic to Israel, released their book called Regime Change, documenting the inner secrets of the Trump presidency, in which they somehow allegedly obtained highly sensitive raw tapes from meetings held inside the White House Situation Room.
Is that because you have audio tapes of the Situation Room? We're not going to comment on the tapes.
So where did these tapes come from? Which country, may I ask, has the technological sophistication and history to tap into such a room in the White House? I think you know my answer.
Yes, answer that, right? Whatever it takes to keep us distracted from it.
If you didn't go to the ER after a car accident, listen up. I got $96,000 for my accident in 57 days, and I only had what they call silent injuries. So basically nothing visible, nothing that showed up on the scene. I got hit, felt shaken up, but okay, no blood, no broken bones. I figured I'd just go home, take some ibuprofen, and sleep it off. 4 days later, I could barely get out of bed. My lower back was locked up. My neck was radiating pain down into my shoulder. I was getting headaches that wouldn't go away. I couldn't sit at my desk for more than 20 minutes without my whole body screaming at me. What seemed like something small at the scene turned into something that I couldn't ignore. But here's where it almost went wrong. I almost did nothing about it. I thought because I didn't go to the emergency room, I'd given up my case. I thought because there were no scans, no records, no doctors signing off on injuries that same day, I had no proof. I spent days telling myself that skipping the ER meant skipping any payout. And I almost let that one decision cost me $96,000. If you were in a car accident anytime in the past year, even as a passenger, and you didn't go to the ER, you can still be owed maximum accident compensation. But most people don't realize that, and it almost cost me everything. That's exactly what insurance companies are counting on. They know silent injuries, whiplash, disc problems, soft tissue damage, concussions could take days or even weeks to fully show themselves. They know skipping the ER feels like a confession that you weren't really hurt. And they're betting you'll talk yourself out of filing. Every person who didn't go to the ER and walks away quietly is a claim they never have to pay. Your doubt is their profit margin. Then someone told me about the Accident Compensation Service, and it changed everything. It's an accident compensation service that can help you get paid the maximum amount you may be owed, even if you skip the ER, even if it seemed minor, and even if your injury stayed silent for days or weeks. No suing the other driver, no going to court, no dealing with insurance directly, no paying anything out of pocket up front. Right now, they're looking for 10 more car accident victims who thought their accident was too minor to file. Even if you thought you were fine at the scene, even if you didn't go to the ER, Even if it's been weeks or months, you could still qualify. Here's what I did. I answered a couple simple questions about my accident on their free site. It told me in seconds that I qualified. Then I was connected with an accident specialist who helped me document everything. The delayed pain, the doctor visits I finally booked, the way my back was changing, how I walked, worked, and slept. Everything insurance was hoping I'd never put on paper. In my particular case, they helped me get a payout of $96,000 in around 57 days for injuries that didn't even show up the day of the accident. They also helped someone get a settlement for $100,000 in 63 days. I'm not saying your case is going to get the same result, but you lose absolutely nothing for checking. Here's how you check. Click the link around this video and answer a few simple multiple choice questions about your accident. No medical records needed up front, no legal background required. It takes a few seconds and it costs you absolutely nothing. If you qualify, an accident specialist could reach out and help you document your injuries and handle the entire process. Your check could arrive in as little as 30 days, and you don't pay a cent out of pocket unless you get compensated first. The accident happened, you didn't go to the ER, but that doesn't mean your case couldn't be worth serious money. This service could help you get a settlement for the pain that crept in days later, the doctor visits you ended up booking anyway, and the work you've been pushing through, everything that happened after you walked away thinking you were fine. What could it change for you to find out that the accident you walked away from could be worth $50,000, $100,000, or more? Think about what happens when you stop disqualifying yourself and start finding out what your injuries may actually be worth. When the silent pain that's been running in the background of your life finally gets a dollar amount attached to it. I spent days telling myself my case was worthless because I never saw the inside of an ER. That story was worth $96,000 to insurance because as long as I believed it, they didn't have to pay. If your accident was within the last year and you weren't at fault, you could qualify for a serious payout. But the deadline on your case doesn't wait for your injuries to finish showing up. Once it passes, that money could vanish permanently. Click the link, answer a few quick questions, and find out what your accident could really be worth. It's free, it's fast, and you risk nothing. But don't leave money on the table because you didn't go to the ER. I almost did. It would have cost me $96,000.
I find the timing very odd of the release of all this, the latest batch of the alien conspiracy stuff, right at the height of the Epstein stuff in the Iran war. And so it's like, give them aliens. That's what I think about it now. I'm just like, this of course you drop it right now.
You know, in the ancient Roman time, how they keep the masses entertained when there's no Netflix, they had bread and circus. I call this bread and saucers. There's a lot of distraction. It's interesting because it taps into something primal in the human spirit, that people care about the possibility of extraterrestrial life. If I told you tomorrow we discovered slime mold on the moon of Saturn Titan, you'd be like, holy crap, that's cool. But if I told you there's dolphins swimming around on the ocean, you'd say that's even cooler, right? When you start saying something is so weighty, so important, and you start rug pulling it, I think it's not only not nice to do to people, it is humanity's curiosity abuse.
I've been doing this since Roman times. I don't something right.
We've got a former Israeli intelligence officer making a wild claim that in order to sabotage Donald Trump's new peace deal with Iran, Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel, may release new Epstein information. So have a listen to this clip.
If there's a real deal between the Americans and the Iranians and it's going towards that, Netanyahu will try to sabotage it. One of the ways he'd sabotage it is by putting out Epstein material against U.S. government officials, including Trump, and he put it out there. New material that wasn't seen before.
We were told that Russia had stuff on Trump with that little PP Gate thing, right, where they had all this, like, you know, this dossier, right, the Russian dossier. So forgive me for holding my breath on this issue.
I'm not sure we're going to see any more of the files.
They're going to expose bits of it, right?
They call me the conscious.
By 2016, there's this story on the internet that's getting a lot of attention, and it was actually the #1 trending topic on Twitter for almost a year. And that was this story called Pizzagate. People started saying there's this crazy thing that's happening, and kids are being in the basement of a pizza parlor in Washington, D.C. Hillary Clinton's eating
right? It was this crazy story. Yeah, I'm like, there's no way any of this is true. So I just stayed away from it. In my mind, there's real things to talk about, right? So I'm covering that kind of stuff, but people keep pushing and pushing and pushing. So one night, I'm sitting there, because I'm the anchor of that station as well, and we're reading stories. And the way it works in local TV is, so we're in Atlanta. That's the 8th largest TV market in the country. But we still take a lot of our news from the network that will send it down to us in what are called feeds. So they'll feed you down stories to cover that are already written. And then you also have a feed that comes from like the Associated Press, CNN. A lot of people are hiding something called CNN News Source. And so CNN sends these pre-written stories to you. And it's kind of the big stories that they're covering. And by the way, they're always the gospel, right? You never challenge anything that comes down from on high. We're sitting there one night, we're reading a story about a guy who goes into a pizza parlor in D.C. with a shotgun, and he shoots up the place because of this conspiracy theory online that he gained traction. So his mind had been twisted in the warp side, right? Open out, shut. In our script that came down from CNN, and the next day it comes down from CBS also, the claim is, and you can go back and look it up, the claim is that Macedonian sheep farmers created the Pizzagate theory in order to prevent Hillary Clinton from becoming president. So we read this on the air, and I'm like, this is crazier than the stuff people are telling me online, right? The idea that Macedonian, like, how would a Macedonian sheep farmer concoct this theory, and why would they concoct it, and how would they get all of Twitter talking about it, right? It was totally crazy.
Macedonian sheep farmers. Farm. Sounds like Pizzagate was real.
What was the deal with the pizza place, though? Because the story was this shit happened in the basement, but the place didn't even have a basement, right? That's what they say. What I will break on your show is that since the Epstein stuff, since we've kind of been vindicated through all this, I've had a lot of people who have come to me and said, you were right 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I was too afraid to say something, but I'm going to show you this. And what I will tell you is there is a basement in that pizza party.
Oh, really? You have images to prove it? No fucking way.
So we're putting that together in the form of a full film that we'll be releasing soon, but it blew my mind. Because I didn't believe there was. I thought this was just, became part of the conspiracy. The concept of Pizzagate is still true. There are powerful people who ritualistically and systematically abuse small children. And a lot of those people are around the largest centers of power in this country, right? Whether they be tech centers, the political centers, the financial centers, that's where they are.
This guy's going to go missing.
Yeah, right. He's in trouble.
There are people to this day, 2026, shockingly, who still say, that's not true. There's no proof of this. Even as recently as 2023, the FBI arrested a prolific offender who was a offender, and the way they caught him was online. They caught him using pizza language in order to communicate, and that was specifically how they tracked it.
Is this the Dennis Hastert guy?
Dennis Hastert's different than that. Dennis Hastert was the Speaker of the House, so third most powerful person in Washington. Years later, he was finally convicted of having, when he was a wrestling coach in his previous life, brutally dozens of boys who were in his programs.
Jesus Christ.
When the judge sentenced him, the judge said I have never in all of my career sentenced a more prolific and violent offender than Dennis Hastert.
And he only did how much time?
Oh, it was a very short amount of time. 18 months, I think. It was a very short amount of time.
Like 8 months. What the fuck is wrong with this world?
They take care of their own boy.
We can't show this or else we'll get this shit nuked off YouTube. So Epstein was very close to the little dictator over in Ukraine, Zelensky.
Really?
Yeah. There was a bunch of emails between the two of them. They had lunch together multiple times. Epstein was very involved in Ukraine since 2014. He was very excited about the U.S.-led coup there. Wrote an email describing it as being very good for us and saying there were many possibilities that would take place because of the destabilization of Ukraine and the fact that the U.S. overthrew the leader there and installed their own guy. When Zelensky was running, he liked Zelensky. He wrote an email to someone basically saying Zelensky was an idiot and doesn't know anything, but that's why he would be easy to manipulate. Flash forward all the way to 2023, the war is going on between Russia and Ukraine. And while that war is going on, Zelensky invites performance artist Marina Abramovich to come to Ukraine and to become an ambassador, not to Ukraine, an ambassador for Ukraine. And she's not even Ukrainian, she's Romanian. But he wanted her to come and be an ambassador for Ukraine, and you can't make this stuff up. Her specific area would be to be the ambassador for the children who are orphaned by this war. The spirit cooking artist who's all over the Pizzagate emails, who's all over this stuff talking about, and by the way, cannibalism is a huge part of her performance art too. There's pictures of her and Lady Gaga at some event where they have like a human body, yep, there it is, lying in this thing, and they're eating off of it.
What the
This is her, the Abramovich girl to this?
So, yeah, well, Abramovich is the one with the spooning up next to Lady Gaga.
Why would they make her an ambassador for children?
Right? You know why?
So this was one of the most controversial and messed up experiments ever done. In 1974, a Serbian performance artist named Marina Abramović invited the public to do whatever they wanted with her for 6 entire hours. Basically, she stood next to a sign that said that she was an object and that people would not be held responsible for their actions. Then she put 72 different items on a nearby table that people could use on her if they wanted. These objects ranged from harmless items to extremely dangerous items like scissors, nails, a scalpel, and an actual functioning gun with a bullet. Marina called her performance art piece Rhythm Zero, and she intended to push the boundaries of physical and psychological endurance. But I'm not sure she could have ever expected just how far these random people would go. At first, the public behaved fairly tamely, giving her the rose and gently kissing. But when it really set in that they could do literally whatever they wanted, people quickly started taking her clothes off, using the sharp weapons to make small cuts in her skin and even drinking her blood. When Marina still stood there, people began to blatantly essay her. And at one point, one person even pointed a gun at her and had to have it wrestled away by others. In the end, Marina's performance revealed just how far people will go if given the opportunity to do so.
She sounds perfect for an ambassador for children.
She's a scientist, right?
Escape the indoors with Cutter Backyard Bug Solutions. From lawn treatment that lasts all summer, or a backyard fogger for your deck or patio. And Cutter candles, perfect for summer evenings. Cutter, protect your people. Shop now.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. I first ditched big wireless and started using Mint Mobile way back in 2019. And back then, you could get premium wireless for only $15 a month. Today, Mint Mobile's premium wireless has gone up by, that's it, zero. It's gone up $0 a month since 2019. That doesn't seem fiscally responsible to me, but again, you're welcome. And I'm not a big hate math, always hated math. True story, I was in math 10A when I was in 12th grade.
In 2013, Jay-Z released his music video for Picasso Baby, which starred controversial performance artist Marina Abramović, along with countless other celebrities. The music video was actually inspired by Marina's 2010 art installation called The Artist is Present. They filmed the music video in New York City, and Jay allegedly performed the song for 6 hours straight. It was his own version of a marathon performance, and Marina only agreed to be a part of Jay's music video if he promised to make a donation to her institute, the Marina Abramović Institute, which presents and supports performance art at a global scale. But after the music video was released, Marina told Spike magazine that the collaboration with Jay-Z was a one-way transaction and that she felt used. At the time, Marina claimed that Jay-Z never made the donation he promised to make to her institute, but it was later clarified by an art dealer and producer from the music video that Jay-Z actually made a very large donation to the institute. She even had receipts that proved Jay-Z had given a substantial donation. The Marina Abramović Institute later admitted that they failed to inform Marina of the donation that Jay-Z made. They put out a press release apologizing to both Marina and Jay. The statement said Marina Abramović was not informed of Sean Jay-Z Carter's donation from 2 years ago. We are sincerely sorry to both Marina Abramović and Sean Jay-Z Carter for this, and since then we have taken to appropriate actions to reconcile this matter.
Which I really appreciate. That was science, right?
Almost good. We're trying to hit 250K subscribers. We're giving away a free piece of merch at the end of every episode. What you've got to do to win is leave a comment on this video and be subscribed. Let's get back to the show.
A secret society has been exposed, and it involves Democrats, Republicans, European leaders, and also Jared Kushner. Hold on, get on your tinfoil hat. Is the Saison Island somehow tied to this secret society that wants to prepare for World War III? 200 members of the global elite are set to attend Peter Thiel's Secret Society retreat, featuring discussions on cult building and preparing for World War III. If you were preparing for a world war or a post-apocalyptic world, you would need a bunker. And this is where Jared Kushner may get involved. Again, hold on tight. So what's interesting about this story is Peter Thiel's organization is called Dialogue, a private, invite-only society compared to Bilderberg and the World Economic Forum. The organization was founded by Peter Thiel. I know this reads like this is Alex Jones 101. The Bilderbergs, the Democrats, the elites, the skeleton people. This is real, and it's been released. This is why the issues in this world, they're not left versus right. They're up versus down. In 2025, Dialogue purchased land in D.C. for a planned campus. They say that they don't have a website accessible to the public or disclose membership. Well, how about this breaking news? Embedded in the code of their closed-off website, there is what seems to be a list of some members. Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, Tulsi Gabbard, Jared Kushner, Reid Hoffman, Larry Summers, Cory Booker. There's New York Times journalists that are involved. The thing that stood out to me most about Peter Thiel's dialogue was the diversity. Not the kind we usually argue about. Societal diversity. Every layer of power in one room, that is the whole design. So yeah, they literally show this. They've got people from the right, the Koch Foundation, Ted Cruz. On the left, Cory Booker, Governor Moore. So multiple Democratic governors. They've got the money, Treasury Secretary Bessent, Brass and Wires, NATO commanders, ex-Intel chief Palantir, Screen and Pulpit, Washington Post, Ezra Klein, actors, clergy, left, right, brass, money, screen, pulpit, all in one room, all off the record.
All the conspiracy theories are coming true.
But we don't know what the lizard people. We know some bits, right?
So you're trying to tell me everything going on in 2026, we now have to worry about a zombie outbreak?
Nigga?
Have you heard of this? Apparently, over the last few days, multiple people have been claiming they are seeing zombies. And my first question is, what kind are we talking here? Because if it's clickers, I'm out. And there are some seriously weird videos going around that I've come across showing people allegedly eating raw meat, roadkill, and a few clips, things that honestly look too big to be animals. There's one story that came out of North Carolina where a woman claimed she was walking with her husband and saw this other woman on the side of the road eating what looked like it was a raw deer carcass. And that report isn't the only one. Like this video here, which shows someone doing something kind of suspicious. I'm not going to show what she's actually doing there, but you get the idea. And supposedly this started happening first in the UK, where a group of people claimed to have stumbled upon some zombie-looking creatures appearing to consume what looks like human remains.
I'm not taking part in two zombies. Trust me, Don. It's spreading everywhere.
Just recently, there's been a rumor going around about a Walmart in Tennessee where somebody bit another person in the store, and the whole place was locked down and nobody could leave. The bite victim was taken to the hospital, where people are now claiming that this person started changing and trying to bite hospital staff. Now, I can't find anything verifying that story, so take it with a huge grain of salt. But do you remember a few years ago when the CDC released this zombie preparedness guide? They said it was just a fun way to teach emergency readiness, but what if they knew something that we don't? Now, a zombie outbreak like this in the movies, that's just fiction, right? But some have said if something like a zombie outbreak did happen, it wouldn't be the undead, but something more like a prion disease, like what happened to some deer, or mutated rabies, or a parasitic fungus like cordyceps that somehow evolved to cross over to humans, which isn't supposed to be possible. Now, this is probably just the internet doing what the internet does best, and there's nothing actually going on here, but with the way things have been going this year, who knows?
Oh, wait, we're not getting bloody zombies.
Trust me, Don. Life imitates art.
I just showed you that image. So one of the first images was the Terminator movie. Check this video out.
China unveiled its latest full-size humanoid robot, the T-800. Yes, indeed. That is the same model number of the Terminator.
Do you know that China's actual network is actually called the Skynet? Did you know that? What? Yep. Look it up, bro. China named their overarching program Skynet. Here's the AI summary. We'll use the demons to ask about it. In China, Skynet primarily refers to the world's largest AI-powered mass surveillance network. State media claims network can scan the entire Chinese population in under a second with high accuracy, though it has drawn widespread international concern regarding privacy and civil liberties. What the heck, bro? So they've got Skynet and they're building T-800. So if you guys have watched the Terminator series, so in the original Terminator movie, Arnold is the T-800.
I'll be back.
Why of all the names would you name it the T-800?
Bro, maybe China's not watching the Terminator, and it's prophetic. That's my guess. Maybe the people watching the movies were like...
I'm pretty sure they're aware of the Terminator movie.
I don't know, man. It's crazy, bro.
I understand how more people don't make the link between Skynet and Starlink.
Starlink. Starlink. Yeah. It's Starlink. But to me, Starlink is literally Skynet under a different name.
You're right. It's closed. But China has one that's actually called Skynet in there.
Dude, that's not diabolical at all.
So that's worse in my mind.
I believe they called it Skynet. It sounds like the fact.
This is one of the craziest product launches I have ever seen. It's a next-generation body scanner that looks straight out of Area 51. Patients stand on this platform and get slowly submerged into the water. Under the water, there are 500,000 miniature speakers that use ultrasonic waves to image your entire body. Think of it like 500,000 mini dolphins all using echolocation at the same time to create a 3D body map. This process only takes 60 seconds, requires zero radiation, and is just as informative as an MRI you would get at a normal hospital. Like I said, this is basically alien technology. But here's the craziest part. This scanner was built by Midjourney, who up until now was a company fully focused on AI images. So how does a 3-year-old startup focused obsessively on AI tools end up pioneering the future of wellness? And it turns out it makes perfect sense. Midjourney is one of the most advanced companies in the world when it comes to visual AI. Their core product uses GPUs to turn text into amazing images. Well, this new product, the body scanner, turns sound waves into amazing images. So it feels like a crazy pivot, but it's actually a genius product extension that they're perfectly positioned to execute. Now, to roll this out, Midjourney is launching their own spa, and in 5 years, they're hoping to have 50,000 of these scanners all over the world. Their vision is that anyone will easily be able to walk in and get a scan without worrying about exorbitant costs or dealing with hospitals. Now, this is one of the coolest things I've ever seen launch. I gotta be honest, we need more of this. AI founders focused exclusively on the biggest problems in the world.
They wanted to make it accessible to everyone. Why the fuck they put it in a spa? Well, it's all working people, right? One of the games is coming.
At the beginning of the religion versus AI war. Now, like work positions, if you're forced to use AI, it's a religious exemption.
Interest.
They say you have a real legal precedent.
This is crazy.
It feels a little biblical.
And I'm kind of excited about it. It's weird, like even in war, we have lines that we don't cross, right? Like chemical warfare and all that stuff. Like they're like in Geneva Convention, like this is not allowed. Is AI the next level of that? Where you can't? Well, yeah, they have that now. That's why they chose OpenAI, because OpenAI agreed to the Pentagon's terms of like AI can take lethal force if they use it in weaponry. Where's the line there? I watched Sam Altman talking. He's like, the thing that keeps me up at night is the billions of people I know that are about to be without a job. How terrifying. He says, I don't know what these people will do or where they will find their value.
We would just all be like subsidized, and we'd have to take a paycheck from the government just to exist, and then we have to find joy and hope in the
curriculums.
Well, maybe everybody will garden. Maybe everybody will get outside and touch some grass and like pick up a hobby and then start to understand how to dismantle the fabric of our nation.
Surely that's not true. I get religious exemption from using AI. It's true, right? It works in North Carolina.
Who said religious crusades have to be a bad thing? While the average person might grumble about artificial intelligence, the head of the Catholic Church decided to take that and pen an over 40,000-word manifesto against it. And people are taking that as permission to start getting their bosses off their back. Well, not quite citing the Pope as their source material, a Unitarian Universalist got their North Carolina company to let her abstain from the use of AI in her workflows. Specifically, that means she can now write and review her code by hand, the good old-fashioned way, all thanks to the religious exemption she was granted.
That's fucking crazy. It's because AI's taking the religion, right?
Pope Leo XIV released Magnificat Humanitas, its very first official papal encyclical. The text focuses on how to protect humanity in the age of AI. That's a big deal. Encyclicals are one of the highest forms of teaching in the Catholic Church. But this story goes beyond the Vatican. Religion is more and more confronted by AI. Faith leaders are debating how to respond. Communities around the world are trying to figure out what happens when AI takes over matters of faith. For Christians, there is a digital version of Jesus. A startup in the United States offers paid video calls with AI Jesus, trained on the Bible and religious sermons. In Japan, there's an AI robot monk called Buddharoid. It's trained on Buddhist scriptures and can answer questions inside a temple in Kyoto. In Latin America, some churches are openly encouraging the use of AI for education, sermons, and community work. And in India and Pakistan, religious organizations are using AI chat assistants to reach younger audiences online. This is becoming a global trend. Analysts say AI-based spiritual and wellness apps are now a multi-billion-dollar industry. The Pope says we need safeguards. Things like protecting workers displaced by AI, keeping humans in charge of critical decisions, teaching students how to use AI responsibly, and making sure governments actually regulate this technology, not just leaving AI companies to regulate themselves. So, what do you think? Is AI helping religion evolve, or are we handing over too much human responsibility to machines?
AI, Jesus, boy. AI's got this stopped.
I don't know. Only one blazing one that can put it right.
Last week, the President of the United States did something that no technology company would ever have done. He took the most capable artificial intelligence that America's leading lab had ever built, and he stopped it at the border on national security grounds, which means the latest frontier model from Anthropic is now in effect a weapon. Americans get it, but the rest of us, allies included, get whatever version they're willing to let out. Now, I've spent a lot of the last few months trying to tell anyone who listened that this couldn't be ruled out, and then being told politely that I was catastrophizing, that the Americans would never do this. So what if the central technology of the next century, in other words, the technology on which everything will depend, our government, our defense, our economy, turns out to be something we can only rent, something which America can withdraw whenever it wants? Is Britain, is Europe, still a power that governs itself, or are we just quietly discovering that we've become a vassal? And if it's the second, then what do we do about it?
Well, you're right. We're not fucked. It's because psychopaths around the world, right?
If you feel like the Western world has gone insane over the last decade, you're not wrong. The madness has a name: political ponerology, the study of how psychopaths take over societies. According to Polish psychiatrist Andrew Lobachowski, psychopaths, sociopaths, and individuals with deep psychological disorders infiltrate institutions, not by merit or integrity, but by their unrivaled ability to lie, manipulate, and destroy. The result is pathocracy, a system ruled by the disordered, where moral, competent, and sane people are pushed out, silenced, or destroyed. Here's how it unfolds. Essential psychopaths rise to the top. Lacking empathy, driven by narcissism, manipulation, and sadism, they view society as a playground of power. In a corrupted system, their evil traits aren't a liability, they're an asset. Schizoids serve as the ideological architects. Detached and theoretical, they create inhuman policies with utopian logic. Lockdowns, depopulation agendas, safe supply drug programs, all coldly detached from their human cost. Spellbinders are the charismatic mouthpieces. Celebrities, pundits, and influencers who captivate the public with slogans about equity and safety, disguising tyranny as compassion. The spellbound are true believers. Hypnotized, these are the foot soldiers of the regime, convinced they're on a moral crusade while defending totalitarianism. Adapted conformists know better but comply. They just follow orders to keep their jobs, reputations, or social standing, gradually numbing their conscience in the process. The resistors see through it all. They retain empathy and moral clarity, but are hunted, censored, and scapegoated for refusing to kneel. Then there's the bystanders. The majority of the population who are confused or afraid. Some slowly adopt the regime's norms just to avoid conflict. Their silence enables the system to metastasize. Look around. Violent criminals are freed while whistleblowers exposing government corruption are constant threat. Until we recognize that we're not fighting bad ideas, but pathological people, we will keep losing ground. This is not left versus right, it's sanity versus madness. And until sanity takes power back, the collapse will continue.
The world's gone mad, right? They want to solve that for next time.
Before you get into the football, you've got to set big facts that everyone will be in the market. And we've already received your orders. Let us know in the comments and post a picture of the community tab. We'll tag us on this as well. And a big thanks to our channel members. We don't do sponsors on our channel, so we can say whatever we want. And it's thanks to the support from you guys. Let's get back to the video.
Now, what you want? What?
Leave a comment for jokes to win next episode. His name is Brent. I'll put this on our website to put in the class. I'll sometimes tell what happens. I got some marks, right? There's no way. Something's working. Remember to write the names, right? And we'll see it in the next one.
Funny stuff. Look at how much we used to love each other.
He takes the time to understand his unique personality. What was once a stressful experience has turned into moments of calmness and trust. Knowing that you're able to make them feel better, it warms my heart.
At Spectrum, we believe every day unlocks unlimited possibilities. Spectrum transforms your gaming experience into a galaxy of adventures. And with super reliable internet speeds, you're always front-loaded to your team be well. Switch to Spectrum Internet today. What happened? So there was a story that was brought to my attention about this 27-year-old black girl named Noah. And apparently she was found hanging from a tree, and this was due to her traveling from Michigan to Miami for a Juneteenth celebration. That was the narrative. Upon hearing this, your first reaction to anyone who has an IQ of room temperature is, that doesn't sound right, right? You mean a person, black woman, traveling to Miami from Michigan to celebrate Juneteenth, somehow winds up hanging from a tree? Something doesn't sound right. Something sounds of foul play. Now, naturally, like I said, that's a normal person's reaction. When it comes to a Sambo soldier, the Sambo soldier, they think, oh, well, of course, black person hanging from a tree, that's normal. Why are black people making such a big deal out of it?
So you got to talk about more pro-black conspiracy theories, not based off facts and evidence, but based off this idea that black but Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
Now, having said that, I've done due diligence into the story, and I noticed there's a lot of misinformation just going around. For example, when it comes to her, going from Michigan to Florida, Miami, for Juneteenth celebration, that's unfounded. Even her sister at the conference says that that's bullcrap.
My sister went down here for the Juneteenth. She been down here since February.
So you get a lot of people saying that. Now, I want you to understand that was the story that this marsupial, this transgender dwarf reported on, right? He was under the impression that she traveled from Michigan to Juneteenth. Now, even that not being the case, anyone with an IQ above room temperature would go, why would someone travel from Michigan to Juneteenth to simply hang themselves in a Miami park? Right? How does that make any sense? If someone's suicidal, they wouldn't travel all the way to Miami for a Juneteenth celebration to do that. They wouldn't unalive themselves. That makes no sense. But once again, this simpleton then tries to blame black people. He then goes and says, well, if there was something, it would be about black people. And it's hard to understand him because he has a crazy list. But he's talking like, oh, it'd be black people because she was there for Juneteenth. Let me adjust that. I'm not going to say that there's no foul play for sure. If there was foul play, it certainly was not a white mob that did it, or police.
I miss you like a home miss mom.
Because she went to a Juneteenth celebration, it is very likely that she spent her weekend around black people. So if there was foul play involved, then it likely came from somebody who was black, and it was not some racist white lynching, right, against a black woman.
Like a baby. Mixed mammoth titty.
Now, I want you to understand, this transgender dwarf doesn't care about the black woman who lost her life. Doesn't care at all. All he sees is as a story to try and lambaste and criticize black people. That's all he sees it as. Why? Because he has a low IQ racist audience.
But Brondo's got where plants pray.
It's not electrolyte. As I said before, what he's even reporting on, what many people are reporting on, it's not true. It's inaccurate of the Michigan to Florida. Because I found that a bit weird. Like, that doesn't make any sense, which would lead someone to suspect foul play. Taking that out of the picture, now we see that she was arrested not too long ago, I think in April of this year. So she currently resides in Florida. Because what you have to understand, the case is closed.
The case has been closed, but the sheriff says that she is willing to open it if they get more information.
The officer has already said that the case is closed. They deemed it a suicide. So until someone else comes out with information, it's done. It's a wrap. That's what is going on. Now understanding that the case is closed, anyone with credible information is going to have to come forward to reopen the case.
We remain committed to reviewing any credible information brought to our attention.
When it comes to the hanging, the officer hasn't said anything about hate. They just said, hey, they found, a deceased individual, yada, yada, yada. It wasn't until the sister, right, who, ironic enough, the only person race baiting on this is this transgender dwarf. Because everyone else is asking questions. Now, I want you to understand, it's illegal for black people to ask questions when it comes to the Sambo soldier. Because once black people start asking questions, well, answers have to be given. And you know that the ignorants don't like giving answers. So black people are asking, hey, this doesn't sound right. Who was with them? What happened? Where are the cameras, right? When you tell me that there's no camera recording of this, officer said, hey, any camera recording that was given in the investigation.
I know the facility does have cameras, but whether that's a part of the investigation itself, the homicide detectives would be better to answer that question. And that would be in their finalized report as well. As far as if our detectives retrieve the video, if there was video to be retrieved and our detectives retrieved the video, it would be in their investigation. It would be in their report.
So you're telling me that all the videos, all right, all the surveillance that's going on, in Florida,
you're about to lose $50,000 for your car accident because you don't know this one trick. Check this out. I'm an attorney. I've been doing this for years. And I'm standing here because most people walk away from accidents leaving tens of thousands of dollars on the table, and nobody tells them. Look at this. This is a real settlement. One of our clients, car accident, almost a year after when he came to us. Most people assume they missed their shot. They think it was too long ago, my injuries weren't that bad. I don't know.
Shall be mine.
Pick your hero. Or villain. I'm not judging.
I'm here to finish the fight that my father began. I hope I make him proud.
The hand of heaven is here. Show some respect. Despite my name, I am no angel.
Sample soap? What? Where you at? Right here, man.
Hey, keep it cutting me out.
Take none of that shit back. Every motherfucking thing I said.
She just in the way if she don't drop or pick a package up. She a gold digger, ain't gon' even lift a spatula. My bitch a gold getter, I just got it off the back of her. Play with no nigga, I just ran a man to Africa. Say that she gon' shoot me if I ever give a dick away. Told her you can't kill what is real, bullets ricochet. I just cut a deal for some meals, I'm an entree. Shitting on these niggas, no for real, I'm a monster. Around by my lonely, I'll be gone. I just want a bitch to hold me down and move me home. Daily at the mall, she gon' buy another thong. Don't lie to me, inspire me to write another song. I gon' pop the clutch for my hutch if she rockin' with me. If them bullets bust, she gon' dodge with me. Dodge with me. We gon' do too much, like Robin Whitney. Say if I decide to rob a bank, she gon' rob it with me. Used to be a P on her heels, dress her hoe. I am somewhere in the hills in the field in my grow house. Send me say I'm shipping dro out. Post a couple hundred on the gram just to show out. I saw it on the internet, they called me immature cause I shot a sucker in his ass to check his temperature. Had to stick my foot through just to get it through the door. Ran up in the bank and had to split it in the floor. Hit him with his shank after clicking the door. Left his ass stankin', even shitting on the floor. What you niggas thinking? I done seen it all before. Asking me for commissary, nigga, give me all of yours. Loyal to the soil, I ain't never been a question. Digs do it moving, I'm in every nigga section. Had to get control of my anger and aggression. Shot it out of trouble, boy, this banger is a blessing. 25 hours in the day, I need 11 more. I be really rocking for this baby, but you already know. I be shaking hands, kissing babies, and a hug. Tulsa, Oklahoma, I'm the newest can of plug. A felon, they say that I'm rebelling, Nat Turner. I'm smoking on everything I'm selling, black burner. Hold it, quick to tell a bitch, no concern. She still get in my business, I'm leaving that and learn. I'm a cancer, I don't do the dancing in the crew, I'm the shooter. And they gon' probably tell you he a fool. It's Diggs, and Diggs do it moving on the bitch. The driver, I don't ride with dude, he a snitch. He a snitch, he a snitch, he a snitch.
DJ Nice on the beat.
Little nigga, let me give you some game. 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 What you doing out of part of the rules? You a smart nigga, you ain't using all of your tools, and you got heart, nigga. You be out plotting the moves, and you a shark too, really out gobbling dudes. I was once you trying to get on next. I'm kept my wetter on my waist and my foot on next. Riding around heavy with the gun in the holster. Believe I wasn't riding around recording poster. I make a call, had the boys approach. Pull up trying to cook something, boil and toast you. And we didn't do social, it was not for the media. Catch him out dining, they gon' cook him and eat him up. When you done on your grind, you gotta put your kitty up. Get ready for your shine, you gotta fuck your city up. Never do lies, just let her see. Lose a good bet, you gotta bet it again. If you got a real friend, you gotta let them know. They ain't trying to see you win, you gotta let them go. If it's money in the field, you better get to it, get to it. Gotta pay your bills, big bitch, do it. Better recognize who your nigga is. Harry, you gotta do that your nigga did. You didn't look out for your kids like he better did. Pull up on your mama with them comments. Negative loyalty, my nigga, you don't earn it in free. You want the shit back, you gotta earn it and live it. Nah, trick, you don't earn it from kissing. You gotta feel it with some big, good game and wisdom. Get it short, something different, put it all in the fish. Focus, send her to the money, either ball in the press. Choose, let her count the money, fuck her all in the kitchen. And she got white friends, yeah, all of them bitching. My bitch is impressive, got wits and class. All she want is a Tesla, new tits and ass. She really bout her back end and gets it fast. 5K a day, that's a different bag. Let her get mad, she don't kick some mad. Every day she doing abs in jiu-jitsu class. I tried to dodge the swing, and the bitch too fast. I ain't snatched rope once, but you gon' kick who ass. It's only been a year, I'm getting better on purpose. I'm only getting younger, I'm not a regular person. Working out for the summer, trying to build my body. Still stressing on my nigga, I don't feel who shot it. Yeah, fair, tell me got it. And I ain't gotta hit the field, I just get Bugatti. Blacks and Hispanics and blacks and turbans. Assalamu alaikum, automatically turbans. Please understand I'm from a different equation. There's no Dr. N, just me and my agent. Get the north through the toll. In the streets trying to eat with a fork in the pole. Hey, free game, you gotta choke with your hoe. Real nigga anthem, this was roll from the soul. And I don't pass, I'll pass it, I just press and something. Apply pressure and address my needs. My life's like a movie, check the analog. Listen, street quarterback, I just hand it off. Keep me out your business if I'm not involved. I creep through your spot like I'm Santa Claus. This beef shit is older, they ain't new to me. This game took a change here brutally. Lucky I ain't tripping like I used to be, cause snatching rap niggas right up with their jewelry. The plug just hit me, say ready for it. Ready for it. Italian bitch say she got spaghetti for it. The funky ass fans dropped the levy on me, plus Messi car looking for me, so I'm getting on it. Fully, I'm faking. Truth is, the nigga really wants me. I could've pulled the plug, cut his circuit off. Instead, I'm on his head, he trying to work it off. I'm praying for the day that I'm in front of you. I'm still trying to find out what you're gonna do. I probably couldn't stop it if I wanted to. Real press niggas on your head trying to gun at you. Broke the internet, nigga, run with it. I see you doing bad, I'm having fun with it. And I'm thinking, how you running your mouth? Why you keep falling jokes, people in the house? My life is like a movie, check the analog. Listen, street quarterback, I just hand it off. Keep me out your business if I'm not involved. I creep through your spot like I'm Santa Claus. This beef shit is older, they ain't new to me. This game took a change here brutally. Lucky I ain't tripping like I used to be, cause I be snatching rap niggas right up with their jewelry. If you know they on your head, you better carry it. Keep it. It's a body on you, boy, you better bury it. Tuck it. You got a good feeling, take it serious. Whatever you do, stay away from fuck niggas, period. Look at in the eye, what you need it for? I tell a bitch, bye, I don't need her. I throw it in the sky, I'm a boss, bitch. Then I get it off back, I ain't lost shit. I'm out here breaking records while I run around. She put her nigga second when I come in town. I leave her ass guessing like she spun around. Told her if I run up in that pussy, I ain't coming down. He lost a little shooter, he a marked man. And you don't play his music, you a smart fan. And he don't do shows, they ain't safe for him. And if you love Missy Moore, bitch, pray for him. My life is like a movie, check the analog. Listen, street quarterback, I just hand it off. Keep me out your business if I'm not involved. I creep through your spot like I'm Santa Claus. This beef shit is older, they ain't new to me. This game took a change here brutally. Lucky I ain't tripping like I used to be, cause I be snatching rap niggas right up with their jewelry.
Where you from? I'm from the Kansas City. Tell them niggas crazy. Shoot a nigga ready. But me, I feel it. I said, "Penny Fargo, you don't see no wrong. No, say they got some wrong. No, baby, shit, I need you. Shit, I did it. What you tried to. Thought you walking by you. Who you feeling like to? I've been feeling different. Give me hit before I drive. And if you do not stay, then I'll be slide. Cause I've been looking you. I wanna be alone. I brought my fire on you. Demons on them. Got them demons on them. Trying to fight them up. People understand them. People want them. But you right them up. And tell them keep them bitches, they be lying. Tell the truth, niggas don't want because they be dying. Bulletproof, I ain't tell you niggas still fine. Niggas want me dead instead of trying. Like, he got me feeling straight by my friends.
Kill me with this killer shit. If that's the case, then why I still exist? Talk to me. Huh? We using green ones over silver tips. I was one of the ones before you did a skit. Simmer down. I was one of the ones you going for pay. Oh, niggas listen now. Really one of the ones the place to call and how to get you down. You see what happened to your partner, bitch, go dig him out. And if they get my partner bill, I'm gonna go get him out. And the name of EB all over, gon' spin around. I ain't free to skip, but that's my fans, ain't never took a stand. Favoritism game, these niggas play these days. Like your big homie that made rats, we ain't gon' say no name. Love y'all shot it hella times, I'm here to take the blame. And suck a dick before you get some nigga make you lame. It's safe to say it ain't the same, and niggas blow with that. Ain't no for killing you for deep control of the goofy air.
I'm gonna burn my fire on you. Demons on them, got them demons on them, trying to fight them. Because they be dying. Bulletproof, they ain't tell you niggas still fine. Niggas want me dead instead.
Think of y'all, and you and her without them perks, watch when you sleep it off. When it get wrecked and it get dressed, that's an easy call. Friend in the house and lock the door at the see my dog. Say what you want, it's been documented, he's the law. It ain't the work that y'all acknowledge, though, I done seen it all. Deactivate the safety switch, cause we gon' keep it off. Shoot a gang chain in my position, that was Fleecy fault. Hey, from the hood, they for the grove, let's keep it raw. Denisio been gone since Buddy Cove, let's keep it raw. See, moving like he ain't no bitch, it's why we be charged. Not only did KO knock him out, he's knocking out. Luciano Hopkins and it's popping out. The niggas talking you, they living that mommy, better on your mouth. Fire on the demons on them, got them demons on them, trying to fight them. But you right or wrong. And some keep them bitches, they be lying. Tell the truth, niggas don't because they be dying. Bulletproof, they ain't tell you niggas good. They trying.
Are you crazy? What is wrong?
We should give these humans good reason to hate and fear us after all.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
What a magnificent place.
It is my home. We must save it.
From Dr. Doom?
Doom is no threat to Asgard, but Loki is.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Even I have trouble fully grasping the majesty of this place.
Protection is always welcome. The enemy is here. You need not fear. Your attacks are futile. I am
The mission area
You cannot hurt me.
Hurricane incoming! Damage sustained! Need assistance! Feel the wrath!
Mutants always rise again.
They captured the mission area!
You got him, Shia.
There they are.
Mon Dieu, that hurt.
Control seized! That hurts.
You are under my protection. Here, Magneto! You cannot hurt me. Much better. You need not fear.
Control lost!
You cannot hurt me. Will your bright blade
Problem solved!
You shall not be harmed. Your attacks are futile.
Enemy in front of us!
I feel like
Your team's
don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man! You're a You're that hurt.
I'm hit! Cover me! Exquisite! Okay, hold it!
I shall not be removed so easily.
Gambit got your back.
Kinetic blade.
They've almost got it!
Significant menace.
Heaven has its merits, but I much prefer the field of battle.
Time to